Hey carpet cleaners, John here, and in this video I'm going to be interviewing Bob Hahn of Mac Daddy Carpet and Tile Cleaning, and we're going to be hearing his amazing, incredible story about how he started, grew and scaled his carpet cleaning business. It's action-packed, it's full of value, it's an incredible story. You're in for an absolute treat. If you've never heard of me before, my name's John Williams and I run a company called AGB, otherwise known as Ads Grow Business. We specialize in one industry only, the carpet cleaning industry, and we specialize in one thing only, getting carpet cleaning businesses like yours booked out with jobs on autopilot using our specialist digital marketing system. I'm on a personal mission to try and help as many carpet cleaning businesses as humanly possible, not just survive but thrive, whether that's through this YouTube channel and all the value and all the content we're providing here, or whether it's through working with us on a one-on-one basis within our specialist digital marketing program. So let's dive right into the interview right now. So on today's video, we have Bob Hahn of Mac Daddy Carpet Cleaning. He is going to be sharing his story about how he started his carpet cleaning business, the journey that he's been on, the ups, the downs, the challenges, the roadblocks, and the successes. Welcome to the program, Bob. It's great to have you here. Can you tell us, first of all, whereabouts are you based out of the United States?
We're in Southwest Florida.
Awesome, awesome stuff. I guess what I really want to sort of find out from you is can you tell us, number one, what year did you start your carpet cleaning business and the circumstances leading up to it? What was it that was going on at that time, that year, in the months leading up to it that made you decide to start a carpet cleaning business? Tell us your story of when and why you started.
So I've been in the remodeling business for 35 years. And back in the 90s, I was in the remodeling business and I ran into a fella. His name was Joe Polish.
Yeah.
So this fella was helping carpet cleaning companies with their marketing back at that time. I'm not sure if he's still around or anything. I don't know. The guy was kind of,
he is.
There's a lot of people, kind of rubbed the wrong way by him, but it got me interested in the carpet cleaning business because with remodeling, you remodel somebody's kitchen, you're likely to maybe you'll do a bathroom for them later or some other small project, or if they move. Otherwise, you're not likely to ever work for them again.
Yeah.
So you have to rely on referrals from them. Is really that's your best source of future business. Yep. But you're really not going to get any kind of repeat business, especially if once you did 2 bathrooms and a kitchen, you're not likely to do work for them again. With carpet cleaning, after I got to know this fella, I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. You can have consistent business all the time. So I was always interested in it. Yep. Never really did anything about it.
Did you have any businesses beforehand? So before you had a carpet cleaning business, what were you doing before?
I was in the remodeling business. I owned a remodeling company.
So you owned a remodeling company, and how many years had that been going for before you started the carpet cleaning business?
Prior to starting my own business, I worked for my father for 8 years. And then I had my own business for 13 years. We moved to Florida in 2005, and I went to work for the biggest remodeling company in Southwest Florida. And I'm actually still there. I was in management for several years. From 2006 to 2014, I was in management a couple of times, vice president of the company. And in 2014, I got out of management and went into strictly sales. And I had been looking into carpet cleaning businesses at that time. And I wasn't committed to it because when I was in management, it was a lot of hours. Yeah. And so I just didn't have time. Well, once I got out of management, I was in sales. I had more time, and our old next door neighbor owned a carpet cleaning business. He started in 2007. His name was Mac. And in 2014, we bought the business from him.
All right. Wow. Okay. So you bought the business from him. Why was he selling? Did he say?
Yeah. He married a woman half his age and moved to Thailand.
Right, I see. Like that, I get it.
Yeah. So he was a one-man operator, and we live kind of in a small town in the outskirts of Fort Myers, and he really had been kind of winding things down over the past few years anyway. So it was really, we bought the truck and some equipment. He didn't have much of a customer list, so. In 2014, we bought the company from him. Looking back, probably would have been better to have started from scratch versus to go in that direction. If I could do it over again, I probably wouldn't do it that way because it was not presented as well as what it should have been, I guess. I don't know how else to put it.
How was that first year then? So you bought it in 2014. Was it, was it like quite a steep learning curve that first year?
It really was. So I have to tell you that I worked cleaning carpets in the past. It's been 2014. So the past 8 years, I worked for a week cleaning carpets in the past 8 years. I ran the rake. My daughter, she was a slave driver. And I mean, she worked me. I had to operate that freaking rake and it was hard work. I mean, I'm telling you what, she did all the rest of the work. I just did the rake. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize these kids are working that hard. So I'm being a little funny, but the truth is I've operated the wand a couple of times, a couple of swipes, and that's really it. I'm not a technician. I run the company, but I don't know how to clean carpets. Yeah. I don't know how to clean tile. I don't know what solutions to use or what to mix or any of that stuff. So that's different for me because I am a carpenter. Yeah. Although I ran a construction company, but I know how to do that kind of stuff. So this is a little challenging for me, not knowing how to do the job of what we're actually selling. The product. Yeah. So 2 of my children, I have a lot of children.
Tell the world how many children you got. Come on.
We only have 11.
11 children, man.
I mean, that's a lot. To me, that's a lot. Some people might not be a lot. So we only have 7 still at home. Soon we've got another one getting married in about 2 weeks. So we'll only have 6 still at home. Hallelujah.
Congratulations.
Pretty excited about that. So my oldest son and my number 3 son started running the company as far as the technicians go back in 2014. And Mac had taught him a little bit, not too much really. I mean, he was like, yeah, it's not really complicated. You know, you just dump a little bit of this soap in the bottle and spray it out and mix it with water and spray it down. And we really didn't, I'm telling you, they had no idea what they were doing. So I sent them to classes to learn what solutions to use and that kind of stuff. And it took a while. I mean, it was a painful financial learning process.
Right.
Because we just were not getting the work to be able to cover my costs. So I was constantly feeding money into this thing to keep it going.
So that first year was really like all about getting the kids involved, putting them into the school of carpet cleaning, if you like, carpet cleaning university, learning the trade. Obviously that cost you quite a lot of money and you weren't really making any back because you were obviously still figuring stuff out. And so that's kind of like year one. So then let's talk about sort of the years between 2015 up until the time that you started working with us, which was about 2020. So we're talking about a 5-year, half a decade really, whereby, you know, what were you doing? Did things start to improve over that 5 years? What were you doing to get jobs? Did things start to pick up? What challenges did you have? What successes did you have over the next kind of 5 years, if you like?
Fortunately, my sons that were working for the company were living at home. And so their income was pretty low at that time, like about, trying to think of what I was paying them, I think $150 a week.
Right.
I mean, it was enough for him to put gas in his car and maybe go on a date or two. But these guys were not making much money at all. But I mean, we were doing maybe, I don't know, 4 to 6 jobs a week.
Right.
This was the first year, and even into the second year, it just was. And so I was I was getting frustrated, as you can imagine. My oldest son came to me after I think it was about 2 years. And he said, Dad, I don't know how to tell you this because I know you and Mom made a big commitment. And we actually had 2 trucks at the time. And he said, but I don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, well, you know, you need to figure out what you want to do because you can't just hang out around here. So I decided I would sell the truck, sell the equipment. We're just going to close it, try to get as much money back out of the situation as I could. Right. I've never even told you this part. I know I've never told you this. So it's we were probably about 2 years in. Right. And my number 3 son and my number 4 daughter, they were in Bible college at the time. Okay. And that son came to me and said, well, since Logan's out and he's quitting, can Lily and I take over?
Okay.
And I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're going to close the company. I'm going to sell this stuff. I'm done losing money. This is just cost. This was one big mistake. I mean, I had no idea how bad this was going to be. Right. Well, Dad, do you think we could at least discuss it? No. We're not discussing it. It's not up for discussion. I've already made my mind. It's over. We're done. And later that night or the next day, I don't remember, my wife had came to me and she said, I really think you should give those 2 a shot.
Right.
And I said, no, I'm not getting, no. Absolutely not. This has cost us a fortune. So she said, so I remember this like it was yesterday. So what difference does it make if we sell the equipment now or if we sell it in 6 months after we see what they can do?
Right.
I'm like, I know I'm going to regret this. All right,
Let's
give
give
it
it
a
a go.
shot.
Yeah.
So they were still in Bible college. Like it was part-time. They had like half days is where they were at. And so the other half of the time they were cleaning carpets and tile and doing pretty well. I mean, it's like it clicked. They had, we finally are getting to the point where we're covering our costs. I think it was probably at around the middle of year 3 that I stopped putting money into the company, that I was able to stop, feeding it. And they were actually carrying it,
Right.
our debt and all that kind of stuff, because we still had debt on the company too. So the things that I did in my remodeling company in the 90s, I sent out a monthly newsletter to my clients, and I didn't advertise. The things that I had learned, Dan Kennedy stuff, some of the stuff that I had learned as far as marketing goes was such a home run in the 90s. I sent out letters.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was amazing the how well we did. Okay. So here we are. It was about 2015, 2016, at that time frame. And I'm doing the things that I did in the 90s, and it's not working at all.
Times have changed, right?
I mean, the newsletter that I mailed out that was a home run for 10 years was a total flop. And it was a horrible financial cost. I learned about EDDM, and we must have sent out 100,000 EDDM postcards. And so I would go into the post office, and the post office said to me, you should conduct a seminar on how to do this because you do it right. You figured out how to send these out. I figured it out. Guess what? It was a total flop. We got hardly any business out of these cards. So the things that worked in the 90s did not work in this time frame.
What's working for you then? If those things weren't working for you, you obviously reached a point where you didn't have to start feeding it anymore, which was awesome. We hadn't started working with you at this point. So out of everything that you were doing, what was working?
Google was working sort of. We had a website built, and we were using AdWords. And so we were definitely getting calls from that. That was probably our best thing that we were doing. Facebook, the problem is that, doing postcards and EDM and all that kind of stuff, I could figure that stuff out myself and how to do it and do it correctly. I mean, it was not complicated stuff. What I felt like with AdWords and Facebook and stuff is I'm just pitching money out there and hoping that it'll work.
Yeah.
And it sort of worked, but I had no concept on what I was actually doing that was working. I could not understand their algorithms. I couldn't understand this is complicated stuff. And I didn't really have the time either to pour through this, the different clicks and all that kind of stuff. It was definitely beyond me from the old time marketing.
It was kind of working enough that you were kind of at least not having to put money in, but you weren't.
Correct.
But you weren't. But you were kind of getting there, but you weren't really 100% sure of like what you were doing, and it was kind of working. And I guess you probably had some referrals and some organic stuff happening, just like word of mouth around the time as well, right?
Previous customers. So we were getting, because it's carpet cleaning, we were getting repeat customers now. And so that was to the point where it was at least carrying us, where we had something going on, even if we weren't advertising.
Absolutely. We're kind of up to date now. So let's talk about your experience of kind of signing up with us, and then obviously the impact that that's had on your carpet cleaning business and your life and all of that. Then that kind of brings us up to date. So if you want to talk a little bit about working with us, that'd be awesome.
So 2020, let's see.
I think it was 2020.
It was the summer of 2020. So that was COVID year.
Yep.
Wow. So when COVID hit, we actually got extremely busy because all these municipalities, we do work for some municipalities, the DMV office and the county building, stuff like that. So when they closed, all the people were gone. So they had the emergency funds. And so we were crazy busy. And that was great. That was a big cash flow influx into our business. So it got to be around May of 2020.
Yeah.
And I had some extra cash that I could do some marketing with. And we had been still doing AdWords. We'd still been doing Facebook, but we weren't really, again, I wasn't sure what was going on. So I said I'm telling you, my wife has got an intuition that I don't have. I said to her, we were all talking. I said, I'm going to try EDDM again and send out about 100,000 postcards. We haven't done it in a few years. Maybe it'll be different this time. And my wife said, did it work last time? I said, no, it didn't work at all. And she says, well, what is wrong with you? And this goes back to that book I had mentioned to you, Who Moved My Cheese? This is that's a very important book, because the things we try, I seem to fall back into this thing of, it worked before. The newsletter worked for so long. Even though it doesn't work now, I feel like I should do it again. But I know it's not going to work. So she said, well, you said that Facebook was working, so why don't you do Facebook? And I go, yeah, I know, but I don't know about Facebook. I think it's working. I mean, it seems like it is. We're busy. We're getting leads from it. The people are saying they're getting us from Facebook, but I don't know if we really are. I can't track it. But you know what? I got a message from a guy that does Facebook marketing. I'll schedule. I mean, he's been, contacting me a couple of times, and I have just kind of put him off. I'll talk to him and see. And so then, we had an initial meeting, and I'll tell you, one of the things that you said to me is that, Bob, the reason that people quit us is not because we don't bring enough leads in. It's because we bring in too many, and they can't handle it. And I was like, okay, I'll bite that. That's all well and good, but yeah, we'll see about that. I mean, okay. I mean, that was enough for me to at least want to give it a shot. And I'll tell you what, I had no clue. I had no idea the volume of leads that we were about to get. Yeah. So there's no question that you guys have figured it out, or you have figured it out. You and your team has figured it out. Definitely the leads that we get are quality leads and abundance of them.
Awesome. And to this day, is it still the same family members that are working in the carpet cleaning business?
Yes, actually. So those two are. And my oldest son is probably going to be coming back into the business again with us. We're talking to him about that. We're looking to add some services and move some things around. So yeah, we're not really sure how to handle all that, because we're so busy at this point, to the point now we're about maxed as far as my two kids, the two technicians I have go. We're about maxed. Finding help is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have to take the next step and get another truck. We only have one truck, although we have a trailer with a truck mount in it. But we're going to have to get another truck in order to grow to the next level.
I think the big thing for me, like the takeaway from speaking to you and doing this interview, the big kind of takeaway that I get from this is that, it's all about patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes time. It takes time to learn the skills required to start, grow, scale a business, to get good at what that business does and sells, and to figure out everything. And you did almost quit, granted, but you stuck with it. And, from 2014 to, 2020, 2022, you're now in a position because you were persistent, because you didn't give up, especially from the family as well. Like your children wanted to give it another go. And because you carried on and you kept on and you didn't give up, you're now starting to see that success, which I think is really, really important. There's a lot of people out there, even in like the advertising game, like the digital marketing space that I'm in, other entrepreneurs like me that have digital marketing agencies. Everybody's trying to make $1 million like yesterday, like really, really quick. And people need to understand it takes time to get good at business, to get good at entrepreneurship, to get the necessary skills, the business acumen. And there are challenges, and it is a learning curve. And the people that are successful are the ones that are prepared to stick it out, put the effort in, and every time they fall off the horse, they get back on it. When I was on holiday in Greece recently, I read the biography of Jeff Bezos and Amazon. And, and those guys, they started in like the 90s in like a garage in some basement, like selling books. And for the first 10 to 20 years, that company, Amazon, was running at a loss of multi-millions, almost billions of dollars. They were running at a loss every year. And the reason for that was because they were having to build all of these fulfillment centers and warehouses, depots all over the world that was obviously they were having to put money into up front. It took them 20 plus years before they made a profit. Another one, Netflix. Netflix used to be like a mail order thing. We used to basically get DVDs in the post, and then you had to send them back, and they were like a competitor of Blockbuster videos. That was like 20 years ago when they were doing that, if not more. And it's taken them years and years to get to the point where they're at today, where they're the number one entertainment platform in the world. It doesn't happen overnight. Like, it's a journey and it takes time. And so I think, especially like a lot of younger people out there, they want it to happen like yesterday. And I think for me, the big thing that I get from this is that, yeah, it's all about perseverance and not giving up. Last question for you, Bob, before we kind of wrap this up. Outside of obviously like signing up with us or working with us, outside of that, let's push that to one side a minute. What's the number one piece of business advice you can give to other carpet cleaning business owners or business owners in general that are going to be watching this video? What's the number one thing that you can say that's going to make a difference to the people watching this? Out of all your years in business, the one thing that you've learned that's stuck with you, that you stand by to this day, that you can say to somebody else that they're going to think, oh, that's great advice?
So there's two types of business situations. There's a business and there's a practice. There's nothing wrong with either, but you need to know what you have.
Yeah.
So a practice would be, we all know what a doctor's practice or a dental practice or something like that is, where the doctor or the dentist comes in and the subordinates do the cleaning of the teeth or whatever. The nurse comes in and does the minor stuff. The doctor or dentist does the more difficult stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not typically the kind of thing that they can run by themselves. The doctor actually has to be there to see people in order to make money. So a practice in our world would be the technicians out there doing the work. The owner is the technician. You don't really have a business, you have a practice. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can make a lot of money owning a practice. The way you could tell the difference if you have a business or practice is if you could leave today for Tahiti for a year. And when you came back a year later, without any communication, a year later, your business is doing better than it did when you left. That is a business. If it would go under because you're not involved, then it's a practice. And you really need to know that. And don't be and embrace it. Don't be afraid of owning a practice as opposed to a business. Again, there's a lot of people that make way more money owning a practice. I mean, the people that are owner operators that own a carpet and tile cleaning business, I'm sure make a lot more money than I do. I'm not making much money out of our business. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. My kids are running the company. They have a very good income. At some point, as we continue to grow and add more technicians, it'll probably be time for me to retire at that point. But I'm, for the most part, hands off. I don't really have to get involved. I handle the marketing and some of the administrative stuff, but none of the work in the field. Like I said, my son had a baby, and so I was out for a week helping my daughter clean. And so...
Yeah. So basically your piece of advice is just to be aware of the different types of business, whether that's an owner operator / practice owner or a business owner. And if you are a practice owner, that's okay. But like, you might want to think about, in terms of like your strategy, think about becoming a business owner. So because it is, quite risky that, if you were to fall down the stairs, touch wood, and you broke your leg, you're screwed, right? You can't bring any money into your family. You can't put food on the table. I totally agree with you. And typically what I find is that the companies that we have most success with are the companies that are business owners first, carpet cleaners second, people that have got that business acumen, people that understand the importance of investing in the business, understand the importance of advertising and marketing, and see things more from that entrepreneurial view and that kind of business overview, rather than somebody who's basically a carpet cleaner. They're self-employed. They've just effectively bought themselves a job, and maybe they're very good at cleaning carpets and they've got 20 years experience and know all the techniques, all the skills to get those stains out and all the right chemicals. And they're actually great at cleaning carpets, but maybe not so good at actually running a business, in inverted commas. And they've got this mindset, this owner operator mindset, that nobody is going to be better than they are at cleaning the carpets. Nobody's going to be better at running the business than they are. Nobody's better at doing the advertising than they are. And they're kind of stuck in that kind of world of being an owner operator, which, as you pointed out, is very risky, because if something happens to you, like the business revolves around you. If something happens to you, your business is screwed, number one. And number two, if you have ambitions to grow and scale, scale and take things to that next level. If you want more time, more freedom with your family, you want to go traveling to Tahiti or wherever, like I'm in Poland right now, for example, if you want to be able to do that stuff and have more time and you want to make more money, there's a limit to what you can do as one person. And the reality of the situation is that, there's only so far you can take it as an owner operator. And if you do want to get that exponential wealth and you do want more freedom, you're going to have to get more people involved, and you have to change that mindset and stop being so protective and kind of let go a little bit and have that mindset of actually building a team around you that can do it. So I think your point is very, very valid. That kind of brings us to the end of this video. I think it's been a great story, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy watching and listening to this. I think some great advice there as well. It just goes to show, if you don't give up and you keep persevering, the success will come. If you've got any final comments or remarks you'd like to make?
One thing, going back to doing business with you, is during our initial meeting, one of the things that was a big selling feature for you, or big, it's big that for most people, I completely missed. And I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or if I don't know how I missed it, or I just didn't understand it. But about 3 months after we signed up to do business with you, all of our clientele got hit by a blast.
Text message.
And we were sitting here, the three of us, me and my two kids, trying to answer about 100 messages with people. I mean, we were all of a sudden absolutely buried with work and trying to answer all this stuff. And they were like, "Dad, why didn't you tell us about this?" I said, "I didn't know. I didn't realize that this was going to happen." I remember sending you a message. You said, "That's one of our selling features," and I said, "Wow, I absolutely missed it, but it is an absolute home run."
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, there's a lot of people out there that do sort of digital marketing, Google and Facebook and stuff like that. And we don't sell ourselves as Facebook people or digital marketing people. For us, it's about the bigger picture. It's a complete system. Facebook ads is just one part of the engine, if you like, but it's all how all of that stuff kind of works together. We do some research in the beginning, and that informs the ad, so that when people see the ad, it kind of resonates with them in your area based on that research. And then we want to make it easy in a world where people want everything instantly. We created this chatbot, this app that's almost like the Uber of carpet cleaning. Now you can click a few buttons in Messenger and make a booking request or a quote request. So we remove that friction in terms of having to call somebody or email or speak to somebody on the phone. With a couple of presses of a button in Messenger, we can get them scheduled in. And then from there, we wanted to put those processes in place that takes that new customer and turns them into a repeat business customer by automatically following up with them, so that you don't have to. And all you need to do is just respond to the people that obviously want to schedule again, and have that all happen on autopilot. So we've just got this constant conveyor belt of business, new business coming through the door, repeat business coming through the door. And so for us, it's always been about the system overall. And when you look at that as well, a lot of people that we spoke to, they think in kind of the short term, like this marketing program is going to run for 30 days. Like what's the ROI going to be at the end of those 30 days? How much money will I have made? But the reality of the situation is that, when you consider that these people are getting followed up with automatically every 3 months, the long-term ROI on this is huge. You could still be making money from the first campaign you ever did with us 2 years later if those people are continuing to schedule with you regularly, right? So really the sky's the limit on that. And so for us, it's really important that we don't sell ourselves as a Facebook ads people, but more of a bespoke marketing full-blown solution for the carpet cleaning industry. And there really wasn't anything else out there at the time like that, specifically for the carpet cleaning industry. So it's great that we've been able to work together, Bob. It's great that we've had the success that we've had with you and continue to do so. It's great to be part of your journey, I'm sure, as we get into the truck number 2 and all the rest of it. And we're going to continue to see success. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you get notified when the next video comes out. And if you'd like to find out a little bit more about working with us on a one-on-one basis to take your carpet cleaning business to the next level, then head to the description where you'll find a link to schedule a Zoom call with us. See you on the next one, guys. Peace.